Hello, Captains. I am back. This is your host, USS Endeavor, back in the Gnevny, and as promised, we're bringing you the second video taking on a completely different role, the one that I mainly enjoy playing versus the traditional DD concealment build. This is the Pocket Cruiser build, which I believe brings out the best in this line. So we'll take a look at the commander, the stats, and some gameplay. Starting out, we got Vladimir Trubetskoy that we're going to be using, and it's a very similar build that we had earlier. He helps with the incoming damage to our destroyer, negating it over 7%, which is very helpful. And then our two inspirations, which are pay for commanders, is Blue Feroria and Vincent Mordoff. They're going to help with the main battery reload of our guns and with the overall speed. You want to keep this thing at speed as much as you possibly can. Observant Rage, and helping with our reload, and Mortar is going to be increasing the effectiveness of our AP and HE shells. Twist and Track, going to give us that same bearing locator, but give us a better rotation of our turrets. Cloudy Days, and Unstoppable, which in the event our engine goes out, we want to be able to maneuver still. Now, we've changed up the first mod slot to Turret Traverse, increasing it by 20%. Over the aiming systems mod. And in the second, we kept the same propulsion mod, helping us get to speed faster. Same consumables as before. You have a smoke generator, and you have an engine speed boost that increases our maximum speed by 8%. Moving on to the ship stats, nothing's changed with our survivability. 14,100, the exact same. Nothing new basically to see here. Now onto the artillery. This is different, and I've used a side-by-side comparison with the concealment build to show you what differences there are. Not going to change the guns. The range is going to stay the same, but the main battery reload is going to be slightly better at 3.1 versus 3.5, and our 180-degree turn time with our guns has vastly improved by 8 seconds. HE shell damage and AP shell damage has also gone up. Same fire chance at 8%. So you can see for the Pocket Cruiser build, the guns have improved. With our torpedoes, they have gotten slightly worse because we don't have aiming systems mod 1. And with the concealment build, we increased our torpedo speed by 4 knots. But at 75 knots, these things are still plenty fast, and you can still utilize them. However, the 180-degree turn time is slightly worse by 1.2 seconds, so very negligible difference there. AA defense is still the same, but I wanted to point this out because we do something rather silly in this game. We do face a carrier, and that's all I'm going to say about that. So you'll have to wait until at the end of the video to see what I'm talking about. Maneuverability. This is where you're going to see a little bit of a difference here. With the concealment build, we were only able to get our maximum speed up to 39.1 knots. However, with the new build, it's at 40.7. Doesn't seem like much, but every little bit counts. Our rudder shift time is slightly worse on the Pocket Cruiser build at 4.3 seconds versus 3.9 seconds with the concealment build. However, that's pretty negligible. The concealment, though, is vastly different. Obviously, with the concealment build, all these stats are technically going to be better, but if you look at it as a cruiser, this is a relatively low concealed cruiser. Most cruisers you're going to spot near the 10 to 11 kilometer mark. This one, you're spotted at 6.9. And detectability by air is 3.6, so you do lose out on 0.2 on that. The rest of the stats are the same. Moving on to the individual ship stats, this was just the same in the other videos, so nothing really new here. Really good, though, 73% win rate, and I mainly play this solo. Moving on to the armor, in case you forgot, it's not that great, although technically, theoretically, if a cruiser shoots AP shells at you, you could technically bounce these, but let's be realistic. Most people are going to be shooting HE at you. So we are on the map Greece, and it's the condensed lower tier version. And speaking of tiers, we have a tier 5, tier 4 matchup with a carrier on both sides. So we are technically top tier. And I love this positioning by where Wargaming put me. I am smack dab in the middle of the map. We have a destroyer on both sides of us that can hold both of those sides. So this is kind of perfect. I can go pretty much anywhere I want. However, I've chosen to go left to help over at Alpha Cap, because I know that the vast majority of the ships are probably going to come over to this side, and technically, since there is no cruiser over here, I am going to play that role, and I'm going to support our destroyer that's going to be pushing into Alpha Cap to contest it, which is perfect. I don't have to take on the role. I can stay at range and help him out, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. However, right here at the bat, the carrier is going to come in and try to spot everything that's over here. And here I'm pinging our team to support RT-22. And unfortunately, we get spotted relatively early. But that's okay. I'm not too worried about being spotted. As a cruiser, you're going to get spotted anyway, so I'm kind of used to that. And with the Serov, he's going to be dropping torpedoes towards our battleships. We have to go a little bit outside so that we don't get caught by one of these, but no harm, no foul. If anybody is shooting at us, that's why being at distance and the speed that we're at is helpful. Here, the destroyer spots the enemy destroyer, so we're going to take shots as much as we possibly can. We're not worried about getting spotted. In fact, I kind of welcome it, because I want things to shoot at me. If they're shooting at me, they're not shooting at my teammates. And I feel confident that me being small enough, I can relatively dodge. And with the speed that I have, speed is my armor, meaning I can outrun these shells if they come in at me. And even though battleships will technically shoot at you, being in a cruiser, because of how small of a profile this ship is, it's hard to hit. And so we're just trading shots. We're spreading the love around as much as we possibly can. And here those a couple of shells come in from the battleships out there, but they're not hitting us, which is perfect. It's exactly what I want. And we're setting fires along the way, which is very, very helpful. However, as you can see on the map, the one thing that I wasn't expecting is most of our entire team decided to come over to Alpha, which is not helpful. We needed at least some presence over at the other cap, because we want to maintain the cap that we have and take the cap that nobody had. But unfortunately, only one of our battleships realizes this and decides to turn back and go back to support that side. So it's only one of our ships that's helping on that side. The rest of our ships decided to lemming train over here to Alpha. Not what I would like, but that just means we have to win this side even more. There's no excuse for winning this. Here the destroyer pops up. That's being spotted by our other one. We threw torps. He was able to dodge, but because he had to dodge those, he's not in a torpedo configuration to be able to get any off on us, and we take him out. So we actually didn't take a single hit during that entire exchange. So very, very favorable. Here is where being a low concealed cruiser pays off. Normally, if you were in a normal cruiser, you'd be spotted by now, but we have a 6.9 concealment. So if you look at it from that standpoint, we still have a smoke just in case something bad happens and we get spotted when we don't want to. However, we're going to be pushing into A. The Fubuki is backing away. He's starting to get low. There we get spotted by the plane, so now we're going to open up. And we're still using our speed. The Koenig is not able to shoot at us. We still are spotted, but the Fubuki's not looking at us or paying attention to us, so we're going to take these shots. The velocity on these shells are very good, so they're going to be able to hit this guy really well. Here, the carrier decides to drop a spread of torpedoes on us, so we're going to smoke up and try our best to dodge these shells. Can we do it? Or torpedoes, not shells, and we do! Whew, boy, that'll make you pucker up, but that's a wasted drop that he made, and now we drop spot. We're going to help cap this cap. Like I said, because we neglected the far right-hand side of the map, we need this cap. So as much as I'd like to stay at range, I need to help take this out, because both of our destroyers on our team have gone down. So unfortunately, I have to now sort of abandon the cruiser role that I was taking, and now I have to take on the destroyer role. Not ideal, especially when they have 2 destroyers left. Well, make that 1 as we clean up that Fubuki. But here we're about to take the cap, and once we take the cap, we've got to get out of here, and we got to start making our way to the other side. And so that's my plan. That's my thinking. We got to get over there. But again, look at the map. Look at where all of our blue ships are. They're all over here. In fact, they're way out of position. I'm actually the farthest right that I can see on our team, and that is not good. So I wanted to push in to, and here the carrier is still spotting me, which is not ideal. But I want you to start watching the planes that I'm shooting down. This thing is not known for shooting down planes. It's not. It has a 16 rating, okay? 16 rating, which is abysmal for shooting down planes. However, the one thing that I wanted to point out is that this carrier player was trying to get some drops on me, but he was also dropping his consumable that is the fighter planes that kind of stick over a certain spot on the map. So I think his thinking was, if I can't take this guy out, at least I can spot him for my team, the red team, to be able to take out. But those planes, their health is much, much lower than the main bomb planes and torpedo planes that he has. Those planes have far more health. His recon planes that he drops has very little health, and he was constantly dropping them over me, which allowed me to get up to 11 planes shot down, even with a really crappy rating that I have with this ship. Here I'm spotted. It is the T-61, and he has some pretty fast firing guns as well, but so do we. Ours reload in relatively 3 seconds, and every opportunity we have, we're going to shoot at him. He was able to outspot us, but he opened up, meaning that it's a gunfight. But he's going to push around this corner. He's going to disengage, but we traded a lot of health for him to make that play to try and hit us. And as much as I wanted to push into the far right-hand side of the map, I would have done so at the detriment of my ship. There was no support over there. There were no blue ships to help me. I am forced to stay over here. I can't take Charlie Cap. I can't take Bravo Cap. Now we're reserved to having to gun down the rest of these ships. Here the Serov does a really good job. He's going down. He's about to die. So he's going to get one more drop on me as we take one final shot to clean him up. And he breaks our ship really good with those skip bombs. They are very effective against destroyers, so although that was his final drop, he made a very good use of it and really wrecked us. The Nevada, thankfully, is not focusing us. Probably could have taken us off the board. Here in about 13-12 seconds, we're going to get our smoke back, which we will need. Our ship count is looking good. We don't have the cap control, but we do have the points lead. And at this point, the winning play is to take out the rest of the ships, because I'm not going to be able to get into those caps because I don't have the support. Here I see the Nevada starting to turn his guns. I wasn't sure if he was going to start focusing me. I have been kind of an annoying ship, constantly peppering him with these shells, so I wanted to disengage, so that's why I popped my smoke. And if you look at the upper right hand corner, I've got 16 planes shot down right now, and like I said, he dropped those recon planes, which I think there's only 4 of them left over there. So I'm thinking, kind of selfishly, if I can get close enough, I might be able to take out these planes and get a clear sky medal. 16 rated AA destroyer, which I thought would have been pretty funny. And I'll spoil it. I end up getting it. So it was just so dumb. It was so silly. I've never gotten a clear sky and a worse AA boat than this. So that was just kind of funny. Here the Nevada is the final ship left, so thankfully we're going to win. Although I wasn't really happy with the way that we played it overall. We could have done much better. We did not need our entire force over on Alpha. looking back on it, and there's the clear sky. Just crazy. We should have split our forces. I think we still would have won if we would have been able to have had the cap control, but you know, sometimes you can't control your team. So you got to make the best of what you can do. But I hope that this shows that you can play this thing at range as a cruiser and still do well. I mean, we did really, really well. We were able to take out 2 of the 3 destroyers. We took a cap. We played at range. We helped make some people miss. Not as much damage, but top of the leaderboard by over 1,000 XP from our second place Hyuga. So you can do this, guys. Give it a shot. Try it. Trust me. So that's a look at the Gnevny. That's the 2 videos. So the next we're going to do the Minsk, and the first video that we'll do with the Minsk is the traditional destroyer roll, and then we'll do the pocket cruiser roll again. So hope you're enjoying this, guys. Thank you again for all the comments, and thank you for the encouragement and the support. I really appreciate everybody who is here. I can't do this without you. I enjoy making these videos for you, so I'm going to keep doing it as long as you're still here. So that's going to do it for me today. This is the USS Endeavor, signing off.